So let's
And
jump in, Kelv. Top
so,
E3 games for each host. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
um, I'll have you go first. But before we do that, I just want to again just thank all the new subscribers for coming and joining us. Just kind of want to give them a shout out for coming and joining our community. So just shout outs to them. That's all.
Thank you guys. Really, truly, truly thank you. Special shout out to Poke Farm. You're the man.
Yeah. Binge gaming. Yeah, binge worthy gaming. He's dope as hell, Kevin. Let's get right into it. So I want you to start off.
Do you want to go one at a time, or you want to give my top three right off the jump?
Let's do one at a time. I feel like
Okay.
that'd be
So I'll go one, and then
more
you do
suspenseful. Yeah.
one. Okay. So one of my favorite. These are kind of like all in the same playing field, but one of my favorite games that was shown on E3. It's got to be Metroid Dread.
Oh, okay. Yep. For sure.
Yep. I have a feeling that's one of yours too. Is that one of yours as well?
That is one of mine. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we could talk about that together, right?
Yeah.
This game is not necessarily the game we asked for, right?
Right.
Everyone was expecting Metroid Prime 4. And what we got was something a little different, but a nice thing to hold us over before we actually get Metroid Prime 4. And it's coming out soon. It's coming out in October, I believe, right?
Yes.
So
October 8th.
Yeah, and I've always been a fan of the side-scrolling Metroid, like the old ones. They're always fun. Like my favorite Metroid of all time has been Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
This is very reminiscent of it, and the fact that it's on Switch and we could play it anywhere, that's fantastic. Let me know why that game is your favorite game, or not favorite game, but one of your favorites.
One of my favorite games of E3. So I think this spoke to me so highly because it came. I wouldn't say it came out of the left field because this has been somewhat rumored for a couple years now. Like the continuation of Fusion, right, is basically what people were wanting.
What Fusion 2 is what this is, right?
Right, 100%. So for this to come out, it was kind of out of left field, but not really because kind of people started kind of giving up on this game, I guess. And I wasn't. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't like a huge follower of Fusion, so I didn't really know about it up until recently, and. Yeah, and they just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, hey, here's Metroid Dread coming this year, October 8th. And I'm like, all right. And the what spoke to me, I think, is just the art style. The 2D side-scrolling was just kind of exactly what I want right now. I feel like, you kind of have like phases where you kind of want a game and you're just kind of in the mood for something. And I think that's what I'm in the mood for right now. And it just kind of speaks to me. So, like, the graphics look great, the animations look cool, the little cool cutscenes like in between that it has.
When you do like a knockout kill or
like a finisher or something like that. I think that really speaks to me. And again, I haven't had a solid Metroid game in so long that I think I've been wanting Metroid Prime for so long now for them to remake it. And it's still I was hoping for it to be this year's E3, but it wasn't. So this is just. Like, I'm like, all right, this is what I want to play. Like, this is it. So I'm excited. I'm so excited for this. Like, you have no idea. This was actually my number one, just to kind of throw that out there.
I think because it's coming so close. And that's what I love about, that's like the best part about E3 is when these nice little like surprises, these treats come at you because no one was expecting it to be shown, right?
Yeah.
So like, here you go. Even though you guys weren't really this is it, and it's coming out soon. And especially with the games now, with all like open world and being these massive games, it's nice to just be able to have like just a game that's like simple,
Can we talk about her suit though?
The suit is dope.
Fire.
It's so.
I
sick.
love it. It literally as soon as the trailer started and you saw her, I was like, I'm sold. I'm in. I'm like, this is what I want. I didn't see anything else but her suit. I'm like, I'm in. It's so sick.
I hope they make that suit like DLC for Smash where you can use it.
Yeah.
I don't see it. It's not like out of the realm of possibility for it to happen.
No, it could happen for sure. I can definitely see that happening. I just don't know when or if it would happen anytime soon. I don't know. Like maybe it can happen when the game comes out, maybe around October, hopefully. But who knows? I'm excited. I think it's cool, and I also, like I said before, I think it's a breath of fresh air when it comes to just like that. That's exactly what I want to play right now, and I think that's gonna help me pick up my Switch more now because I haven't played my Switch in quite some time now. It's basically a Smash system for me.
Yeah, I will say there is one thing that I will say to the game that I was like, it looks kind of generic, was the main bad guy, that like sentry looking thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like the robot?
Yeah,
that, like,
yeah.
He looked kind of basic. That's
Sure.
like, you know.
I was hoping for more like dark, grimy, characters.
Yeah,
like
yeah, Ridley and all that kind of stuff, and like the
Right.
monsters. But I mean, that's just me like nitpicking. But
That's
game
the
looks
first
solid.
5 minutes. Like that, we don't know anything about this game yet. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I'm sure there's more enemies. I'm sure there's more to come soon. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like this game is coming out. Like if you think about it, we're like midsummer already. Like we're getting there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's around the corner, sort of. I feel like it's like we're gonna get past September, and then
July,
once September
August,
flies,
exactly.
Yeah.
We're in the fall. There's a slew of games coming out in the fall.
Yep.
So let's move on to our next game. I'll have you go this time since I went first last time. What is the second game that you're looking forward to?
So this might be out of left field for you, but I don't know if you remember this game. This was in the Xbox conference.
Was it that side scroller looking one?
Yes.
Yes. I was gonna pick that one, but I didn't. I didn't pick that one. But
so
very close.
my second one is Replaced. It's called Replaced, and it's coming soon. There's no release date, but it's that 2D side scroller for Xbox Game Pass, and it kind of has that similar Metroid feel, where it's like a sci-fi scroller. But you're kind of, I don't even know who you are, but you're kind of like, you're just fighting these bad guys. But the way the animations in that game look insane. And I think what really adds to the effect of that game is how it kind of moves the camera as you're fighting, like that the camera movement or the jolting of the camera kind of adds to the atmosphere. Where as you're punching somebody, like the camera just shakes a little bit, and it just kind of gives you a really good, like, satisfying vibe to it. I don't know. It looks sick. You guys got to check it out. It's probably one of the highlights of E3 because a lot of people are talking about it. What did you think? What did you think of Replaced?
I thought that game was really cool. Definitely something I'd be interested in. I think it's a day one on Game Pass.
And on Game Pass, like,
yeah.
if you have Game Pass, you have it. Like, it's great.
Just get it. It's sick. And the only thing is, like, this is one of those games that I feel like should be on the Switch just because of the nature of it.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, regardless, I'm gonna play it on PC. But here's the thing about Game Pass, with xCloud being like a big thing now, you might be able to just play it on your phone if you want.
Very true. Very
you know
true.
what I mean? So, or on a laptop or wherever you want. So, that game was a surprise.
It was very surprising too, because when it first started off, the trailer was like, very like
generic,
8-bit. It was very like an 8-bit
Yeah.
sort of, right? And I'm like, I'm not into this. And then all of a sudden, when it started the combat, I'm like, oh, okay, this is how they want to start off the combat. Like, that's cool.
This. Yeah.
And again, the animation and that gritty feel to it, it's kind of like that, like, like, I don't know, like that grounded, like, New York style fighting or something like that. It just looked cool.
It was cool. Just like the way that, like, that camera shifting, and then like it mixed the combat. Like, it felt almost like a fighting game, but it's not a fighting game.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think I'm really gonna enjoy that game, and it's gonna be right up there with Metroid. So I feel like, do you think it's coming out this year?
Yeah, I think it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Maybe fall, winter, Q4. I don't think it's going to get pushed. I feel like every game that they announced, like day one Game Pass, that they said, is going to be announced this year. So, again, end of the year is going to always be stacked. Especially this year, because last year was kind of weird with, like, COVID and stuff. This year, I feel like there's going to be so many games for you to choose from that you're not going to be able to play all of them. You know?
Sure.
Yeah. My second.
What's yours?
Elden Ring.
Ooh. Okay.
That's not your third? That's not your third?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
it really is my third.
Let's talk about it, yeah.
So, Elden Ring, man, this was surprisingly amazing because, I mean, I was excited for Elden Ring, but I wasn't, like, over the top. Like, a lot of people are really excited for this game, right? Like, they're like... Well,
you are, like, for you like
From Software games. I'm weird when it comes to From Software, yeah.
Like... You're hit or miss with them. Like, you either like their games a lot, like Bloodborne puts you on a high, and then you kind of like saw all the other games, and you're like, it's not Bloodborne. Like, that's kind of how you felt, because
it's one of those games where, like, if you start off with like the first, if you start off with like number 3 and then you try to play like the previous ones, you're like, this is not great. If you try playing Gears 5 and then trying to playing Gears 1, you're like, this sucks. Like, this is not as good. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like how I feel with Bloodborne and the previous installments from Software, because they're great. These games are great, and I see why they're so good. But it just never hit that high when I got what I got from Bloodborne, and I think Elden Ring is that like you're gonna get. I feel like it has that. We talked about this before. It has that gritty feel of Bloodborne, where you're like, it has that dark atmosphere, but at the same time, it has more of like that nice, bright kind of outdoorsy look to it too. It's not all dark and gritty, like, you know.
Exactly. You literally face off against, like, the bosses are going to be demigods. You know, they're going to be, which is really cool. So almost like mythology, like, you know, God of War.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, well, that kind of story where you're feeling against mythology and stuff. I always love that stuff. And
if it hits the fast pace of Bloodborne, I think it's going to be
which I think
instant hit.
Will, because they said that there's going to be less emphasis on the stamina bar.
Okay. Well,
so
you can take that two ways, though. You know, like, that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing.
But it seems like this game is catered more towards the action-y part of the Souls game. It's going to be more fast-paced than Dark Souls. I feel like it's going to be somewhere between Sekiro and Dark Souls. I
got to give Sekiro another chance. I love the game. I think Sekiro spoke to me more than any other of the From Software games, obviously besides Bloodborne. But what I didn't really like about Sekiro was it was hard. It was like really hard. Like, it was more harder than I thought it would be.
It was hard, and it didn't like tell you necessarily where to go. You just kind of fumbled your way through your thing. And that game's a lot more technical than Souls games. You have to be really, really like on it to play that game. Like, I
might have to give it a chance again. I might have to
give it a chance again. There's a grappling hook in there, so
yeah.
So
this is the year for grappling hooks for sure. So
yeah, Sekiro, I'll give it another chance too. But yeah, this game, I'm at an all-time high for it. Like, just everything screaming Bloodborne again, like that feeling. So
it just looks so good. Like,
it does.
Graphically, it looks amazing. Gameplay wise, it looks amazing, and it just has like, you could tell when there's gonna be an amazing game on your hands, and this one's gonna be one of them. Like, you could definitely see that.
You know what's a really good sign is when you see these trailers and these demos, that the game looks already polished. When I was watching the trailer, I was like, oh, this game already has that. It looks like it's ready to play.
Right.
When you see trailers and stuff and the game doesn't look that great, you're like, you're questioning it. You're like, for example, Final Fantasy. You know, we're not going to talk about that, but Final Fantasy and then Pokemon, that makes you question it. Like, but this game had none of that, and we're like, oh, they're on it. You know, so that gives me confidence.
I'm excited to see more, and I'm not sure when, because this is coming out January 19th. Again, a little ways off, but it's you know, it's not too far off. It's gonna come like before you know it.
That
and
sucks.
I want to know. I want to know when we'll see more of this. You know, like,
I'm screwed because that's when Legends Arceus comes out, January.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2022, a banger of a year.
Plus, we're gonna have Halo. We're gonna be coming out back from Halo. It's gonna be
what I want to know about this game more so is the online component. Because I know From Software, no, I don't know. I don't think so. I think they've learned from previous games. I think From Software has struggled with online gameplay with their previous games, but I think for some reason something tells me that this game they've kind of took all that feedback, and I think they're gonna do something special with the online. I think they're gonna do it how we want online to kind of work, right? You pick a lobby or you pick a teammate that you want, and then you just send them over to your world, and you're just playing off the bat. None of this cumbersome, like, trying to like get someone trying to find an item for them to have you come into their
you have to literally do like a ritual to like
it's a legit ritual, and I think that From Software has learned, I'm hoping, and they'll be able to simplify the matchmaking, and I think that if they make it work, if they make the matchmaking work, I think this game is gonna be amazing. Like, it's fun as hell playing online. Like, when I was playing Bloodborne with you, I think that was great. It just took a lot effort
I
to get into
I didn't
our
really
world.
like once you knew how to do it. I didn't mind it too much. It was a little bit of a pain, so it's like maybe they make it a little easier. But I kind of like the whole like you have to summon someone into your game.
They
I
could
think
do that. They could still do that, but it was just sometimes it didn't work. Sometimes it just
yeah, it was
there was too
clunky.
many rules.
You
too
need
many
like a
rules
password
involved.
or something like that to get. I
Right.
get it. Yeah, you just want to make
Eliminate
it
that.
more. Yeah.
So I think
So
they have something special in their hands if they can ace the online component to it, because that's a big like it's grown more and more, right? The online component for From Software games, and especially like just Souls games in general, like the online component has been not a priority, but it's been a big important role in the games.
so Elden Ring is gonna be probably gonna be 9 off the bat. Like that's what I'm gonna grade it right now. I don't even know the game, and it's gonna be 9. It's gonna be great. I think you're gonna fix everything. It's gonna be the game we want. It's
Yeah,
gonna again feel Dark Souls and Bloodborne combined. That's what they're doing. Looks what it looks like.
for sure.
Last game, since you already got all of your 3
That's
out.
it.
This one's gonna be a surprise for you. This is my last game.
Okay.
Forza 5 Horizon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't expect that at all. So you were really into the showcase that they showed, right? Like the gameplay and all that stuff.
Yeah, they did such a good job. Again, those graphics look phenomenal, and the fact that like you can just like meet up with your friends, like just drive around places, like that's cool. It's gonna, for me, that's gonna be like the racing game that I've been like, because I was really into racing games when I was a kid, the Need for Speed and Midnight Club. But after that, I never really got back into them. I think this one is the one that's gonna make me get back into racing games.
Yeah, this is another one where I think the online component is going to shine here.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Especially with all the cool stuff, cool features that they showed on the showcase. This one I'm interested in, and I'm a car fan for sure, but I don't car for some reason the only car game that really grabbed my attention for a long time was Midnight Club, and I think it was just because it was just out of this fucking world. Like, you know, you had like boosts and you had like
Powers and stuff.
and stuff that you could flip over and shit. So this one being more grounded, more realistic, I don't know if it will keep me engaged. But if I'm playing with you, for example, or if I'm playing with Caleb or whatever, this can kind of keep me going for a little bit longer, especially with all the cool gameplay that they showed, right? Like all the cool game modes that they had with like the pinballs and all of this wonky stuff that they had there. I think it'd be pretty cool to play.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be sick if they have like little missions where like you have to find this area, like go find it around. We're not gonna tell you exactly where it is, but go find it, and all your friends have to do like almost like a treasure hunt around, driving around trying to find this thing. I think they have a lot to work with. And again,
now,
like what?
I was just gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong. So the previous Forza games had this open world component to it, right? This isn't the first time they're doing it, right?
So there's Forza, like normal Forza, and there's a Horizon series. The Forza series is more of like that track based. You're really just on tracks, right, driving around. Whereas Horizon is a little more open world. You can just drive wherever you want, and obviously they have that stuff where you can drive on a track. But I tend to lean more towards Horizon more because you get to drive around and it's open. It's more open world. You know, like Forza. Regular Forza is more of like a driving sim.
Yeah.
Horizon is a little more than that.
It's a little bit more out of it. Kind of takes it a little bit less serious.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think if there's a game that you're going to get into, it probably will be Horizon because of that aspect. But
it definitely got me interested. Like, it looked cool. I liked everything that they showed. The graphics look insane. I think what they're doing with the Horizon franchise as a whole is great. I think it looks cool, you know. I mean, it's on Game Pass too, so I mean, why wouldn't I try it? You know what I mean? Exactly. Like there's so many like check-offs, like checkpoints that they just keep hitting that I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna try this regardless if I'm really interested or really invested in this franchise or not.
Yeah. So I think that ends our discussion for our top E3 games. Again, it was Metroid Dread, Elden Ring replaced Forza Horizon 5. And
we were pretty much on the same boat for the most part.
Yeah,